Rise of the Lost Cross Day 2. I'd like for you all to welcome to the stage the Neighbor.
It meant like everything to me. I mean, there was times when there was absolutely nothing else to believe in except, man, let's have a show Saturday night, you know, so we can buy beer Sunday because we're broke.
I first heard about the house in 2001. I was still living up in the suburbs of Chicago. A guy that I was in a band with in high school, Matt, he came down here for school, and he kept talking about there's this really cool house. And then I myself moved down here for school in 2002. I spent the first night in Carbondale wandering around trying to find Lost Cross. Couldn't find it at all. And the next day ran into Matt, and he was like, oh, you should come to Boobies. I'm the doorman there. There's some bands playing. You should come check it out. Went to a show there, and then ended up hanging out here that night.
It's pretty awesome here. I mean, the pillars kind of suck, but like basement shows, house shows, you're right there with everybody. You know, there's like no separation. It's pretty cool.
I've played in touring acts in the past where we've played for anywhere from 500 to 10, 15,000 people. You know, and it is a different ball of wax. You're only going to get 75 people in this basement. It's a very close, as they say, you know, like the difference between seeing somebody who's up there on a stage or seeing somebody who's literally standing right next to you.
What really drew me in was the fact that I was friends with Matt, therefore I was immediately friends with everybody. That rule was like, tell the stories about Matt, you know, and like, you told me stories about Matt. So it just became an immediate like kinship with everybody that was hanging out here and had been hanging out here.
It's different than being like, oh, I worked, at a bar for 15 years, because that's a job. This is like, you're putting your life, you're putting your heart into something.
Support your local music scene. If you know how to play an instrument, do it. You know, don't be afraid to start up a band and sound like crap for a few months just to get the feel for it. But yeah, definitely go see live music in basements. The bars make enough money. Underground music scene historically has always been the entity that has driven community music.
Carbondale's special because of the longevity, but it isn't special for any other reason. Like, any music scene can be like this. Any town can have a Lost Cross. It's just you have to nurture it, and you have to really believe in what you're doing and not take it for granted. Not become the jaded person who, complains about how things aren't the way they used to be. Things change, but it doesn't have to die out. And just because you're older or you're busier doesn't mean that you still can't help out, Yeah, you can't be playing shows in this crappy basement, your whole life, but you can still come to shows or help promote a show, take some flyers, anything helps, everything helps. And I think, you can support your local music scene in ways that isn't just playing a guitar.
I would be surprised to see if it lasts another 25 years, but at the same time, I wouldn't, because it's, that just means that people actually, people remember it, and, they may not remember what we did 25 years ago, but they may remember what's going on this year, 10 or 15 years. Oh, man, you remember when they had their 25th? God, they're having their 40th now. What's up with that?
It's crazy. It's crazy that it's still here. It's good. I mean, I don't think any other place has ever lasted this long, ever. I mean, even like the all ages plays out like Berkeley and stuff, that went under. The Fireside Bowl, And those are the places that people compared this place to, because it's kind of similar decor, I guess, and the whole scene of kids working together. And we outlived them, and that's insane. In this podunk Carbondale, you know, like, it's crazy.
You got to find people that are willing to put the legwork in. And I've lived in this house on two separate occasions, and it's hard to live here. You know, like, you can pay the same amount of rent and not have to deal with any of this bullshit. If anything, that might be the end of the house, but I don't see that happening personally for, you know, any time in the foreseeable future. You know, I've got bands that have been contacting me that are already wanting to play here, you know, June of next year. And I'm telling them, sure, you know, like, why not? Like, let's try and do it.
The best times here or something like that, like, it's like before and after the show, hanging out with these guys from wherever, like all over the world, you know, millions of miles away, and just hanging out with them, you know, drinking beer and talking about the same stuff. I don't think anybody ever came in and said, oh, this place sucks. I think everybody was always like, wow. I mean, there's so much stuff to look at, you know, and so much history. That's usually the main thing here. There's so much, a lot of history in this house and stuff. Yeah, a lot of ghosts. And my ghost will be here, whether they want me or not.
Easier to be someone when you don't know any